Separation technique number 1. So in your book it is in unit 2.3.1 or activity 2.3.1, and the topic is obtaining colored component from blue/black ink. So the ink that we actually use to write is one kind of mixture. It is a solution. So it is a solution of two components. So first there will be a solute and there will be a solvent. So in case of blue/black ink, the solvent is water and the solute is one kind of colored component or pigment, and this colored component or pigment is very well mixed with the solvent water, which gives us blue/black ink. Correct? So that means blue/black ink is a homogeneous mixture. It is a homogeneous mixture. So we cannot use any physical method to separate out. So if you see, there is a method given in your book, and here I have tried to explain the what is going on here to you using this diagram. So if you see, first try to understand what is happening here. So if you see, there is a burner. This is a burner. There is a stand, tripod stand. Over the tripod stand you have a beaker, and this beaker is half filled with water, and above the beaker we have a watch glass, and in this watch glass we have taken the black ink. Okay, so now what will we do? First we start the burner. So as soon as the burner starts, the water in this beaker starts to heat, and see, we have not placed the watch glass directly on the flame, but rather we have placed the watch glass above the beaker, and this beaker, since it contains water, water will heat up, it will boil, and the water will produce some vapor, some steam, and this steam will heat up the watch glass. So after some time, what will happen? This watch glass will become hot, and since this black ink is actually a mixture of black dye plus water, okay, so after some time of heating, the water, which is actually the solvent in this black ink, will vaporize, it will evaporate, it will all go away. Since the solvent is water, all the waters will evaporate, and the black dye or the blue dye or the pigment will be left in the watch glass. So this is called the method of evaporation. This is called evaporation method. This is already given in your textbook. So please go through the activity and try to understand. And for your understanding, I have already explained it here. Okay. In your book, just below this particular activity, there is actually a paragraph, and in this paragraph, two words are mentioned. One word is volatile and one word is non-volatile. So what is volatile and what is non-volatile? So volatile means when you have both the solute and solvent which can be evaporated. For example, say you have water mixed with methanol. This is called a volatile solution because water and methanol both can be evaporated. That means volatile substances are those substances which can be converted into gas or vapor easily, and non-volatile substance means those substances which cannot be converted into gas or vapor easily. For example, all the solids. For example, if you take water and salt or NaCl, and NaCl is a substance which cannot be evaporated easily, correct? So this solution of water and NaCl will be called a non-volatile solution. And why these two words are mentioned? Because this particular method, which I have already just now I have explained, evaporation, this can be used if the solution is, or if the component, or if the substance with which we are going to separate out is a non-volatile one. If it is volatile, say you have taken here water plus methanol, and if you heat it, water along with methanol both will evaporate, and as a result you will get nothing, correct? But if you take here, instead of black ink, if you take salt and water, water will evaporate and you will be left with NaCl or salt. So this particular method is applicable only in case of non-volatile solution. So next separation method that we are going to use, we going to study actually is centrifuge. So you need 2.3.2 separating cream from milk. So as you know, milk is an example of colloid, and colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. But colloid is actually, although it is heterogeneous, but it just behaves like a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so you know that the milk contains some small particles, and these particles are separated to form or to make creams. Cream, then this ice creams, then this, what to say, different milk products. So this particles should have to be separated from milk, and since these particles are very well mixed, these particles cannot be separated that easily. So to separate these particles from the milk, a special method is used which is called centrifuge. So centrifuge is actually a machine. So there is a machine called centrifuge machine, and this centrifuge machine, although I have just drawn a simple or small portion, but this is a very complex machine, electrical machine. So this particular setup is inside a box-like structure, and this box-like structure has an electrical motor, and this electrical motor, with the help of electricity, rotates this disc at very high speed. The speed is about 4000 revolutions per minute. That means this particular disc rotates 4000 times in a minute, and there are some slots. There are some slots in the disc in which we can keep this test tubes. So this particular machine is also used in the laboratories to do certain blood tests. So when we need to separate out our blood is also one type of colloid. If I have not said, I am saying it now, that our blood is also a very unique colloid. Our blood contains hemoglobin, our blood contains white blood cell, red blood cell, plasma and whatnot. So sometimes our plasma needs to be separated from the blood. So in that case, they use, the laboratory technicians use this kind of machine, the centrifuge machine. So in centrifuge machine, there are some slots in which these test tubes can be kept, and these test tubes are kept with that particular substance which we have to separate. So for example, here we are taking the example of milk. So in this test tube, we will take some milk. We will place it here, and we will start with on the machine. As soon as we on the machine, this disc containing all the test tube will rotate at a very high speed, and when this disc rotates at very high speed, this test tubes containing the substances or the solutions also rotate. Now we know that milk is a colloid in which there are some large particles which are suspended in the solvent or the dispersed phase, correct? Now the larger particles, which are actually like have a bit high mass, that means they are heavier. We can call it heavier, correct? So these particles of colloid, they are quite heavy. They are actually the class itself, in this particular chapter itself, I told you that in true solution the solid particles are very small. The suspense are in suspension, the size of the particles are quite large, and in colloid the size of the particles are somehow in between the particles of true solution and suspension. So in colloid also the particles are actually, you can say, quite large, and they are heavier. So when they rotate at very high speed, these heavier particles, they settle at the bottom, and the solvent or the dispersed phase, or the dispersion medium, it keeps suspending or keeps floating at the top, And the heavier particles, these are all heavier particles. The heavier particles settles at the bottom, whereas the lighter solvent, or we can say the dispersed medium, it remains at the top. So this way we can separate out, and this is called centrifuge.